Teaching an adult who has bad habits, the overhead swing is probably one of the hardest things to teach. The reason why it's so hard is because there's so many components into that swing. You've got to have the right grip, you got to learn how to pronate and use your forearm to punch. You got to make sure that you swing and have a good follow through. And then on top of that, you got to start activating your core and use your footwork and then combine it all together to look seamless.
I can feel that.
Yes, it is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So if you're one of those adults or beginners or social players that are trying to develop that movement, be gentle with yourself because it's going to take time, and likely we're going to have to do it in several parts. You know, we're going to build each part up and then put it all together. So maybe we're going to create a series. Let's create a series of trying to improve Lynn overhead and rotations, okay? So now you would have seen a lot of videos of me trying to help Lynn to develop her swing.
Better, right? Better. Yeah.
Better? I'm not sure. I'm still crying at the moment on the inside. It's something you have to do a lot, all the time, right?
Yeah, build the muscle memory.
Build the muscle memories, but the reality is that we haven't trained for quite a while now. We probably haven't trained for probably about 3-4 weeks. And every time she plays, I will ask her, how was your game? And she said, oh, I'm so powerful. I'll go, and it go really fast.
I can hit the sound, boom.
And then I watch her hit, and I just want to cry.
Okay, better than before, okay? Not better than you, but...
So the big improvement that you have made is you're getting more away from this. Do you find your shoulder less sore?
Yes.
So one of the reasons why before she was getting sore shoulder is you used to hit like this a lot, and you were much more in your panhandle grip. And with a panhandle grip, you tend to go this a lot. And when you do this and you start raising this elbow up, you're going to really tense up this muscle, and it really hurts and it really sore. So now Lynn is a little bit more V grip. She's not quite a true V grip. She begins with a V grip, but after one shot, she will start to move kind of semi.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Trust me.
Changed.
Most people say, I have V grip? What? Really? Yes, really. So that's why. Because why? There are things in your swing that tell me you're not in the true V grip. If you watch her swing, how does she finish? You finish like this. The only way you can finish like this is if you're not in a V grip and you're in a panhandle. If you're in a V grip, for you to face this, you really have to twist your arm like this. You see? But if you're in a slightly panhandle, it's so much easier. Yes?
Yeah.
The other big thing is that when they're in this kind of like half panhandle kind of grip, you see that they can't rotate the wrist and pronation up here. They tend to hit more with the forearms and come across. That's a very typical action of a panhandle player or semi-panhandle player, right? But now at least she learned to bring the elbow forward a little bit more, and she's learning to squeeze a lot more. So even though she still her swing is still too big and still not enough, and basically almost no pronation, but the fact that she learned to hit with the elbow first and learning to squeeze, it really helped her with her power, right? Yeah. And also help with her pain. She is starting to rotate a little bit more, so her footwork is a little bit faster, but at the end of the day, there's still more work to be done, okay? Yes, like a lot more work. And since then, I have learned quite a little bit more about how to get that rotation to work really well. So I want to share that with Lynn and probably with you guys as well. The biggest thing she has to do now is that she has to stay in the V grip. Without staying in the V grip, it is very difficult for me anyway to teach Lynn how to do a proper swing, right? Because this kind of swing and this kind of pronation especially, you really need the V grip. Because if you hold a panhandle, you can't really quite do a punch and a pronation. So she has to learn to stay in the V grip. And you already know how to hold a V grip, right? Yes? Okay. So today's lesson, the first lesson, is for her to stay in the V grip and learn how to pronate and punch. So if you have the same problem of can't quite in the V grip and don't really know what the punch action is, this video will be perfect for you. So what we're going to do is you're just going to stay here on the service line, yeah? I'm just going to throw the shuttle up here. All I want you to do is have the elbow in front. Remember, you always want the elbow in front.
Yeah.
So you always want the elbow in front. And from here, that racket should be in this chalk position. And all I want you to do is learning to pronate outwards like this. So rather than pronate like that,
Like this.
yeah, I'm gonna get her to
out.
go like this.
This.
Okay? Really important for you to have this elbow here and not here. Just to learn to bring this elbow forward is a lot harder than you think. So you have to always make sure before you hit, glancing your eyes to the right, you should see the elbow. Now the reason why I want
So your
Lynn,
hand like this, not like
Yeah.
this. Like this.
no. Like if you hold the racket, this is in your V grip. You're in the vertical position, right? Remember, all you're gonna do is basically bring your arms up, nice and slow, and then bring it back. That's one of the problems when you teach people as well. It's like because in your mind, you think you're doing this, but when you do this, and you like convince yourself that I am doing like this. I am doing like this. What are you talking about? My racket is
I
perfect.
need a mirror.
What are you talking about? This way you need a coach, okay? And not a husband to teach you, okay?
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
So one of the easiest way to make sure your racket in the correct position at the back is you're gonna be in this, because it's easy for you to see the racket in front, right? In the V grip, see how the frame is up and down? All you're gonna do is just over your right racket, just slowly bring it up, and naturally, your hand and the racket will be in the right position. You need this position before you even start, okay? So that's step one, okay? Yeah. Good. Yes? So from here, as you can see, Lynn's elbow is in front of her hand. So important because now she can then pull the hand before she punch that way. Yeah. Beautiful. Right? Now pull and punch. Good. So as you pulling your hand forward and upward, that hand and all the fingers nice and relaxed. Don't do anything with that hand and fingers, okay? Everything is start from here. You just pull it upwards and only to about here, then you activate your hand and your fingers, okay? Right, so you relax, yeah. Pull, punch, good. Now as you notice, when you finish punching, stop. As you notice here, Lynn's elbow slightly bent. Yes? So a lot of people make the mistake is that they punch, they straighten the arm, and they actually snap the elbow. And if you do that, you're gonna damage your nerves here, right? You would have seen a lot of videos online where people will show you punch forward like this, okay? Technically, later on, as you get better with this, you eventually do want to able to punch forward. But this is a very difficult action for beginners, right?
Yeah.
So I find it's easier for Lynn anyway at this stage for her to do this, right? Because what happens is that like, as you do this, you have to have a follow through. It's so important for you able to do this punch and have a good follow through so you don't hurt your wrist. And Lynn's wrist is quite stiff at the moment.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, so swollen a little bit.
Too much Asian cooking. Yeah, me. Hey.
So be nice to me.
Yeah. So she is getting hand treatment to actually soften on the tendon.
Yeah,
So
the tendon looks better.
until then, I'm just gonna get Lynn to learn to punch this way first. So remember, guys, when you learn badminton, all of us are slightly different, and especially when you get older as well, all of us have some sort of limitation in your body. Don't just look at the pro, don't just look at all these amazing videos online that teach you how to play badminton, but they are taught by people who either have played before, been coached before,
Yeah, they're professional,
or they are
or they're-
professional and they have been actually they actually have time to look after the body.
Yeah.
It's so important for you to actually understand the limitation of your body, your skills, and adapt those exercises and the movement to suit you. You know, someone like Lynn, and even with me, I will never become a professional player. You know what I mean? I don't need the perfect swing. Lynn doesn't need the perfect swing. She needs a swing that works for her and her body so that she get more power, easier, effortlessly, and no injury. That's the most important thing. She doesn't need the perfect swing. So if any of you guys out there watching this and go, that swing is not correct, Lynn's movement is not correct, you know, remember that she is still learning. You know, my Lynn is still learning. You know, the kids are still learning. Their skills will get better. So it's important, and the reason why we want to make these videos is that we want to share that journey with you guys, so that if for people out there who are not professional, who don't have the perfect skill, they can relate to us a lot more, okay? So like I said, for now, so back to the exercise. For now, it's just gonna learn to do this, okay? Yeah, and punch, good job. It's about trying to get this angle. So you are still doing too much of this, where you haven't quite learning to square up. Because later on, when you learn to go up like this, once again, you need to learn to square up. Because if you don't learn to square up, you're gonna slice. And that's what a lot of people struggle with when they come to V grip, is that they can't square up, they slice, they lose power, and they give up. So learning to pronate and square up is an important part of learning how to use V grip, okay? Right, so let's try. Yeah, just relax, feet together, elbow up. Yeah, okay? And I'm gonna throw so that the shuttle's in front of you, okay? And you just pull and punch. Good. Pull and, yep. Good. Nice. Yeah, elbow in front, that's it. Pull, punch. Okay, so Lynn is right now in the center of the court, right? So hopefully she should be able to hit this, just this simple squeeze action, and it should fly almost to the first back line. Okay, so let's see if you can do it. Remember, soft hand and only squeeze when you need to, okay? Elbow up, okay? Don't draw it back, okay? Just simply learning to squeeze. Yeah, ceiling. Yeah, beautiful, ceiling. Nice. Yeah? So as you can see, that went all the way to the first white line, and you're not doing much, are you? Are you swinging?
No.
Do you feel, how does it feel? Is it easy or hard?
Easy.
Easy. Not much effort, right? Beautiful. Wow, that's even nearly to the back first white line. No, don't go forward, okay? Squeeze. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. That looks so much better. How does it feel?
I feel easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it feel sore in the forearm?
Not that quite, but when you squeeze, yeah, it's still tight a little bit.
Okay.
Because my muscles still tight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as Lynn gets better at squeezing, the only other thing that will help, one thing that will help with that tightness and the soreness in the forearm is after you finish hitting that squeeze, you can learn to relax. Because remember, after you finish, you don't need to hold on anymore, right?
Yeah.
After you finish, relax. Relax. And when you have a better follow through like this, it's actually much easier on the forearm as well. Good. Turn now and punch. Beautiful. Good. You can see your swing start looking a lot better. If you guys are having trouble, try some of these tips that I've shared with Lynn here, and hopefully it will improve your swing a lot. Squeeze that subscribe button and let's get better together.